Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 26 with the Colorado Rockies. Not the most thrilling of off seasons with this franchise. You'll notice this is a very similar lineup as we've had in years past, with a few minor changes. First of which is Charlie Condon has come back at a significantly reduced salary. Um, if we just get last year Charlie Condon, that's kind of a ripoff, but it's not by as much. Pitching staff, no changes here. These guys have all been here before. Bullpen, Tom Remy is the one rookie that's got a reasonably big role. Dave Crawford also debuting for the Major League roster. If we look at our backups, it's pretty much the same as last year. Danny Gonzalez is, although he's not planning to start, at least not yet, he is low-key probably the most important rookie. If he has a great season, that means we can move on from Brian Milam and save ourselves some money in the near future, which is a good thing for us to have as that financial flexibility. Why are we not playing Carlos Martinez again? We are. I just didn't see his name. That's fair. That's reasonable. Okay. So yeah, we basically ran it back from last season, and it's not like last season was anything too great. We didn't make the postseason. But we were also a little bit unlucky. So if we constantly crank out like 90+ win campaigns, we'll eventually win the World Series. We've got time. We've got time. Anderson Fermin playing center field is acceptable. What keeps fucking with me, by the way, is the fact that we're also playing with some of these same names keep popping up in the White Sox series. Like Anderson Fermin, I think, is in the White Sox series, and he sucks. Here, he's not great, but he's good enough. He's an acceptable type of person to have on our team. We've got a fair bit of money invested in player development, which makes me pretty happy. We don't really have any big financial decisions coming up yet. Yasukawa absolutely is going to be a big decision, and he's basically going to get a blank check. By far, the most important thing that needs to happen this season is fucking Ida needs to figure out his shit. Last year was great. I need it for a full season. I am paying premium money for players that's not giving me premium performance because he keeps getting hurt. Which is hopefully something that'll change this season. He'll have a great season and carry us to the World Series. We eventually want to start selecting out even more of the 30+-year-olds. Colin Ritchie is a target. His last 3 years, he's been fine, but he hasn't been the difference maker that he was in 2032. So replacing him possibly with Alex Rodarte is something that is most definitely on my radar. Rodarte, I think, could be an okay third baseman, possibly. We want to get Rodarte some legitimate playing experience this season. Currently, he's not getting it, but we're also very early into the season, and there's any number of spots he could fill quite effectively if we needed him to. We also need a succession plan for Ezekiel Tovar. In a pinch, Robbie Brewer could fill in as either shortstop or third baseman. I don't necessarily love the idea, but it could be done. Yasukawa would be an okay shortstop, so we could play him at short and then play somebody else at second. We have lots of choices here. We have some younger players that are ready for a bigger role. This is a very important year for Matt Mittman. If he performs very well in AAA, then we're set at first base and we can say goodbye to Condon. But I think keeping Condon for one final season is reasonable. It's a reasonable thing to do. Other people that we need to consider are Pat Demers. Pat Demers would be a very reliable infielder if we needed one, which is pretty impressive given where we drafted him in the 9th round. This is one of the big differences, by the way, between the Rockies and the White Sox, is that we've been able to keep investing heavily in the farm system because of our approach. We're not bringing on those expensive free agents that the White Sox have been doing in my other series. And so it's actually worked out as an advantage for us because I have plenty of players that are on league minimum deals or close to it. And that means I can afford to spend more money on the other things that are part of running a baseball team, like scouting and, in particular, player development. And that means the minor leagues keep churning out major league ready talent so that we can turn over the roster, which is what you have to do to be a successful team long term. It is very easy as a fan, and I do this myself. I am not under any circumstances. I'm not under any circumstances immune from this. Is you tend to fixate on particular players because they're your favorite player, whatever. Maybe you saw them play when you were a kid. Or maybe a franchise like this guy is so important to the franchise, we can't possibly lose them. And that's when they've got you by the balls, and that's when they get paid ridiculous contracts you can't possibly afford. So even though it sucks as a fan to see your favorite players go elsewhere, like recently, I'm immediately thinking of Francisco Lindor. How amazing would the Guardians have looked if we'd kept Frankie Lindor alongside Jose Ramirez? It would have been truly special, particularly since shortstop has been a bit of a black hole for the Guardians ever since he departed. Andres Jimenez is pretty good, but he wasn't consistent, although it was cool to see him with the Blue Jays get close to the World Series victory. But all that is to say, we have to be willing to turn this roster over. We have some players that are over 30. My ideal scenario is we do it one per season. Like every season, one of these 30-plus-year-olds is either has a diminished role or finds a new team. That's my goal. We constantly churn in and out quality talent so that we're never caught flat-footed. Now, Ezequiel Tovar is the one that owns his option for next year. If he opts in, he opts in. And to be honest with you, he's been such a good player, I don't care. Tovar is more than happy to stay with us for another season if he so chooses. And if he doesn't, then we will adjust accordingly. If we win the World Series, whether it's this season or not, I don't think I announced this, but you all had voted for Victoria 3 for the next series, so we'll start that up. It should be a good time. EU5 is something that I own but have not played yet. I've just been too stuck on the Outer Worlds 2, which I've enjoyed immensely. If you like the first game, you will like the second game. And I would recommend you very highly considering picking up a copy for yourself. It's in the same universe, but it's in a different star system than the original game, so you don't really see any characters necessarily, but it's still pretty fun. Mittman got 5 hits in a game. That's beautiful. Naganori Ida is player of the week. That feels pretty decent. So what has to go right this season? Essentially, people need to stay healthy. Health is the key this year. It is the key. Alright, this is A+. I think Gur Martin was one of them, right? Yeah, Gur Martin is not eligible anymore. Gur Martin isn't the worst player I've ever seen, but he's 27 years old and hasn't gotten above high A. And while, yes, I recognize that is my fault, he's also a 16th round draft pick, so he shouldn't have expected that much. He probably deserved a bigger role than he's ever gotten from me, but when your overall is only a 36, it's hard to grab people's attention. So, Mr. Martin, I bid you farewell. Who else was it? Let's look for Alfredo Rosas. No, thank you. I actually could just sort by age, but I don't even think that's accurate. Steve there and Alexis Herrera, you can both depart. And we've got to get rid of Mike Anderson and Edwin Rodriguez. Mike Anderson isn't quite done yet. I might find a new spot for him. Edwin Rodriguez is pretty bad. Let me release Justin Jenkins and let me go ahead and promote Mike Anderson. I want to keep Mike Anderson. He's still got some skills on him, and we need all the help we can get for the third base plan. And we just had to go to Rafael Lugo. Where are you? You're a first baseman that can't really first base that well. You're not terrible, but I've got loads and loads of info. Actually, we could say goodbye to Gavin Hofer. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll promote Mr. Lugo. We'll keep him around a bit longer. Then we're going to start promoting people to high A. Jose Torres, Alex Fontes. Ken McMartin is 20 years old. He most definitely can handle high A. 100%. David Bennett has yet to make his professional debut. Same. Enrique Ruiz has. I think we can promote him. We can give him a bit of a chance here. Dustin Berger. Sounds delicious. Jeff Jaglinski and Josh Chisholm, I think makes sense. Cool. We're probably going to get a message in a little bit that the A ball... Yep. I couldn't even finish saying what I was saying. I'm pretty sure Armbrust, Brinson, and Pinkham were all on that list of people that had to be released. Tim Griffin and Tyler Marrer. Tim Griffin is okay. I'd rather promote him than I would cut him. Ed Kupris, you're 27 years old. Get out of here. Who's next? Tyler Marrer. You can depart post haste. Dave Hine. Who else we got? Ryan Derby and Carlos De Leon. Ryan Derby, Carlos De Leon. Ryan the Derbster, as he likes to be called. Okay, I doubt he actually likes to be called that, but... Then Rafael Tovar and Jesus Reyna. Tovar is meh. And where's my pal Jesus? Here he is. I'm going to try trading Jesus Reyna. He's not a shortstop. Let's get that immediately eliminated. And I don't think his bat is that great for first baseman, but I'd like to see if somebody is interested in a quick little swappy swap. And they may not be. And if that's the case, he's not interesting enough for me to keep, so I will bid him adieu. Alright, now we're sorted there. Let's get some more promotions lined up. Jesus Rosas, you can go up to A-ball. I'm Pedro Martinez. Trust me, bro. We could promote him, I guess. Mr. Hedgecock here has barely played, so I think promoting him to A-ball is fine. I probably, to be honest with you, have too many people in A-ball. or rookie ball rather, because they're not getting playing time, and that's definitely hurting their development. That's why you got to churn people. It's all about the churn. Churn can be a very good thing. It could be a sign that your organization is healthy and is winnowing out the losers effectively. And Mr. Higginbotham, sure. Welcome to the higher minors. I do have room for two more AAA players. That's something we can potentially consider. I feel like Kurt Norton could be promoted, but I'd rather give him a chance before I do that. Let's promote... Solis played in AA last season. Let's promote him. And let's promote Jim Pizzulo. Yeah, that's fine. Ken McMartin just got promoted. Let me promote Curzone, and I need a new catcher there. Let's promote Tuahay. There we go. Done. I'm going to leave the rest of this alone. I don't feel that there's any... we can promote Ian McCown and Mike Toney, sure. Let's advance time. We're going to have a very nice draft, by the way, because of Yasukawa. He's going to get us another first-round pick. Of course, Ida's injured. We had gone too long without him being hurt. We call up Travis Cooper, but we're actually going to give his spot to Rodarte. I need him to be tested. I need him to be tested quite badly, and this is certainly going to be a test of his skills. This is an audition, is what this is. Five hits for Jose Garcia, pretty fun. This is Rodarte's chance to show that he deserves a spot on both this season's roster and next season's next season's roster. I think we have to trade, or probably not trade, because I don't get he was going to give us anything for Ida. I think we have to let Ida walk at the end of next season. We'll let him walk, we'll give him a qualifying offer, and we'll get a draft pick. But there's just not a world in which he stays on this club because he's too frequently injured. Them's the breaks, guys. Sorry if that bums you out. Yasukawa is off to a very cold start, as is Charlie Condon. This is troubling. This is troubling, but maybe he'll figure it out. Condon, you're making me regret bringing you back. We're still second in runs scored somehow, even though we hit like shit. Edgar Castillo is fumbling the baseball very badly. It's way too early to make any drastic changes, but I think this is a change I do want to make. We're going to do that. You can be emergency starter, I guess. Like, you've had 9 starts, and you barely average 4 innings a start. And you're getting your ass handed to you. I think this is just proof that you're probably not a major league quality pitcher. And our margins are very narrow. Very narrow indeed. Steve Connor and Chris Parks. Steve Connor is the suck. Chris Parks is not much better. Goodbye, gentlemen. I wish you well, Chris Parks. You might end up being a pro wrestler. I think that's Abyss's real name from TNA. Do we want Bobby Rivera on this roster? Absolutely not. He can go to AAA. Oh, he has a major league contract. He's out of option years. I think we trade him. I think we hope that somebody wants Bobby Rivera. That somebody's like, finally, the piece I wanted. Yeah, there's no reason for anybody to trade for him because he's just not that good. I'm going to designate you for assignment, and if somebody else claims you, they claim you. Cooper, get back to the minors, please, at least for now. And Ida, welcome back. Rodarte is struggling, so getting Ida back is pretty good. Oh no, Duarte is the character from The Expanse. I don't know why I kept thinking he's the one from The Expanse. That's Duarte. Those low batting averages are not that sustainable, so what I'm hoping happens is he figures it out. Probably. Jason Bryan, get the fuck out of here. You suck, bro. I don't know why I kept misclicking the button. Maybe it's like he was begging me for a second chance. And I'm like, nah. You don't deserve it. A briefly good stats here. Is there anybody here really struggling? Is there anybody like utterly overmatched? There's some guys that definitely look like it. Daniel Gonzalez is one of them, so we'll just demote him. Let him get right. It's been a long time since I've desperately wanted a rookie to work out like Rodarte, who hasn't worked out yet. Losing Yasukawa is pretty rough, but he honestly wasn't off to the greatest start anyway. Maybe this will give him a chance to get right. So Robbie Brewer could most definitely play second base. That is a thing he's capable of doing while Yasukawa is out. Is there anybody in AAA that needs an opportunity? Juan Zapata, no thank you. Probably Pat Demers, actually. I'm going to promote him. And I'm actually going to give him the second base job. But I'm not going to let him lead off. Because that's not a thing that happens yet. Carlos Martinez leads off, and then I think Colin Ritchie hits second. That's a reasonable take. And everyone below him moves up. I want Demers hitting ninth at this stage in his career. All right. I mean, 3 weeks isn't great, but he is off to a cold start anyway, so letting him relax and recover may be beneficial for us long term, because Yasukawa is a big part of our future plans. But so is Rodarte. And Rodarte did not impress in his brief Major League trial. He needs playing time every day. I just need to set it and forget it. But I don't really have a spot for him, because I don't trust him to play second. Oh, you could play first. I could get rid of Condon. Does Condon have any chance in hell of coming back this season? He is getting less terrible. He's not good, but he is getting less terrible. But if he is replacement level, then Rodarte is the correct choice. He's absolutely the correct choice. I think we can wait a little bit longer. Specifically until let's also swap May and Tovar, actually. We can do that also. I think we can wait until closer to the trade deadline and then see what Condon looks like. And just let Rodarte get spot starts here and there. Do this for me, please. Rodarte, you're not playing second base. I don't trust you. But I do trust you to give a break to Ida every 5 games. That is something I'm more than happy to let you do. But you're not playing second. You're a mediocre second baseman. You know what? Before I get too dismissive of this policy, Rodarte's a better hitter right now, which doesn't surprise me, but how different is their defense? Demers is substantially better. I think if Rodarte played second base, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But I think the correct decision is to take it easy. Like this could happen, for instance. Alright, Rodarte, you're in. Come hell or high water, whether you're the worst or the best, you're getting this playing time. I don't really, again, feel like there's any big rush for me to use the combine. Alright. Oh no, Pedro Martinez, we have to release him. Damn, sorry, son. It was one of the Pedro Martinez's. It's Sergio Resendiz. Goodbye. I'm just going to release all these guys because they all suck pretty hard. And we saw to say goodbye to Ramon Moran, who is pretty poor. He kinda stinks. Edgar Jimenez. I am now required to trade you because you played for a team that is not mine. Those are the rules, my friend. You should have refused the opportunity. I'm sorry that you didn't, but here we are. Actually, I'm getting really good stuff here. Alberto Sostre. What can we get in a prospect package? Ooh, Eddie Santiago is really, really good. Like, stupid good. But he's played for the Yankees, so we can't have that. You disgust me with the offers of high-quality players that I can't accept because they played in the majors. I'd like both these players an awful lot. I think this is the deal that we take. I'll say if they'll maybe consider adding in another prospect, but this is actually a really good return. A very, very good return. Could I get John Reeves by chance? A great reliever is always highly welcomed. No, Reeves is too much. Reuses too much. Fair enough. David Thompson is not a bad catcher at any stretch of the imagination, but I'm not going to give up premium talent for it. Willie Garcia could be a third base solution. Does Willie Garcia, is this a thing I can get? I can have Willie Garcia. I can have him for my very own. Amazing. Ramon Molina is very powerful. What about Mr. Molina here? And I think, unless Carlos Urbina really speaks to me, he doesn't not speak to me. Yeah, I wonder if Carlos Urbina could be gotten as well. Yeah, we'll just make this trade. Done. I was never going to keep Jimenez, so getting a passel of quality prospects makes me pretty happy. Now, this very well could end up biting me in the butt. I think Edgar Jimenez is a fairly skilled hitter, but these are my rules. So I have to let him go. If I was playing the White Sox series, I absolutely keep Jimenez. But he played for another team, and therefore he is dead to me. Oh my god. Fine. Is that sufficient? No, gotta go Juan Morales and Jairo Nunez. Let me go to my international complex, look at all players here. And everybody over 18 gets promoted. 18 or older, excuse me, gets promoted to the minors. There we go. Mr. Urbina, I would like you to go to AAA. Same with Mr. Molina. Same with Mr. Garcia. I fully recognize I'm now 3 players over. Mr. Teles, how the fucking hell are you in AAA? Get thee down to the Rookie League. Rob Moss can depart. Who else is struggling from a statistical standpoint here? Jeff Carr is struggling pretty badly. Let's get you back in AA. And wait, what happened? Where did a player go? Oh, I didn't replace Demers on the roster. Yes. I mean, Demers is going back to the minors because Yasukawa was going to be healthy before then. So figure it out, nerd. Chris Ullery is really, really bad. But I want someone who's in bad with more plate appearances, like Ruben Garcia. You can go to AA. And then I can release Mark Evans. No, I'll release Grant Tate. Alright, we did it, guys. Can I please end the month of June now? There we go. A big win right there. Yasukawa's going to miss another week. I guess it means Demers gets the roster spot, but he's not going to be playing second base, I think. I mean, I didn't really think bringing in C. Bowman would make that big a difference, given the fact the guy's a utility guy. You're happy about my international talent? Great. I really don't want to fuck with the vibes and the coaching staff, although they're not that great. The vibes are not immaculate. We're definitely keeping Drew Toussaint. He's done a really great job for us. 100%. Tim Olszewski has done a great job of bringing along my young pitchers, and he gets along well with them too. I think we easily give him a new contract. The question is, do we also keep Yan Rivera? Is this a way to inject some creativity into the coaching staff, is to let him depart and move on to somewhere else? The fact of the matter is, he's been here a very long time, but he's got amazing relationships with my players. And that means even though we're content, right? It's not like we're off terribly. Honestly, the biggest problem is our first base coach and our team trainer. They're the two that are really dragging it down for everybody else. Yan Rivera is perfectly fine, and I would like to keep him around. That feels good to me. Everyone else, enjoy a new contract year. 3 people are a little bit sussy. Zach Osborne is never going to be a major league hitting coach for me. I think letting somebody else have that spot is smart. Get some promotions happening. Jose Leon is fantastic. I'd love to keep him if he's willing to stay. Pedro Gonzalez is equally of high quality. Multiple-time manager of the year. We're going to keep him around. There we go. Alright, top 100 prospects. No Rockies in the top 10, not a surprise. But our front system itself is 10th, so it's not like we're doing bad work. It's just we don't have the very tippy-tippy top-tier players that other teams do. Pat Demers, go back to the minors, please. You've had your chance and you blew it. And then Yasukawa gets to come back. Alright. Get in there, Mr. Yasukawa. Because I really want Carlos Martinez hitting second. Because he's got quite a bit of power, I think letting him lead off is depriving us of opportunities here. Richie is playing well enough. Yeah, let's have Richie hit 7th at the moment. And then Yasukawa, I would like you... Let's actually let you hit 2nd for right now. I think that actually makes more sense. Let's give you some time to see Martinez hitting in front of you, and then pick up where you left off from last season. I think that's important. Trade proposal. I'm sure I don't want Jacob Bresnahan for any price. And Ida's out again. Bro, just stay healthy. How fucking hard is that for you? I think I would bring up Cooper, but Cooper is injured for 2 weeks, which is not ideal. I just need a good hitter, and so I think Matt Mittman is the correct choice here. And I think what we're going to do, because Rodarte is a righty and Mittman is a lefty, I think we're going to platoon him. So Mr. Mittman, you're going to play DH against right-handed pitching, and Rodarte, you're going to face other people. But I don't want you guys hitting third. I think that's asking too much at this stage in your careers. Todd May can hit third, which I know is a weird statement I never thought that I would ever make. But he's getting it done this year. He is definitely getting it done. And then we'll swap Rodarte and May there too. So they're still in important spots, but they're both going to get some. They're both going to get some work now, which I think is very important. Obviously, I very much want Ida to return and return at his very best. But it's not the end of the world, and Edgar Jimenez is having a great season, which doesn't surprise me. Those are the rules, guys. We have to follow them. We are so very, very close to breaking out this season. And I feel like it's been injury luck that's really cost us. Plus Yasukawa being on a fairly cold streak to begin the season. Who made the All-Star team for us? We are Cole. Will Levy did. John Begin did. Naganori Ida made it. And Carlos Martinez made it. As did Bryant Milam. They're all having fantastic seasons thus far, which is really exciting. Now I should get. Yep. I have a prospect promotion incentive because of Yasukawa being so fucking amazing. So we can make the most out of that. Bo Peters is trash. Okay, trash is a bit of an overstatement, but he literally can't play second base. He can't. And so he has significantly less value to me. Now, Sincere Edwards, I like quite a bit. He's got a very good stick. He's got enough glove to handle any of the infield spots. This I like. Let's get the sincerest man in professional baseball. What is my budget for players? Game. Here you go. I have about $5 million to spend. Duly noted. There goes Bo Peters. I want to not draft picks you because I'm very curious to see how you do, but I think your career is going to be a very poor one. Right. Mike Mullet? What an incredible name. The thing is, I can't go too high, so in all honesty, a really good reliever is an overreach, but it's something that we could use. Oh my. He wants $5 million. It said he just wanted the slot. Maybe we take Jason Nish instead. That seems more useful to me. I love Mike Mullet, but not for the amount of money that he's wanting. This I will take. 1.1 million. Let's do it. I guess this is the relief draft, and I'm here for that. Let's definitely get some hitting though. Let's get Santa Claus's kid. Ian Klaus is pretty great. Let's draft him. Done. We got to go a little bit cheap in this draft, and I don't think that's a bad thing. We still like Tony Gomez. I can't afford him. Mark Monroe's an okay third baseman who's got pretty good speed. This skill set concerns me, but I don't think it's one we can't work with. And because we think so highly of him, I think Mr. Monroe is an acceptable choice. And then we get to be in the fun zone, which is where draft picks don't cost anything, so I can take whoever I want. Do we like Ricky Beltran, I wonder? No, we don't. Is he going to the Jedi Academy? I don't know why I thought this said Jedi Academy. I was like, holy shit, guys. If he's a Jedi, then we have to take him. Alas, he's merely a catcher that can't catch. Gabriel Avila is a pretty special bat that works really, really hard. I wonder if we could teach him a new position. I think it's worth the risk. Let's grab Mr. Avila here. Plus, I'm reminded of Andres Avila from the Pirates series a couple seasons ago, who had a phenomenal Major League career despite not being that great a catcher. Alright, Ricky Beltran, I will take you now because you cost me no money. Fernando Garcia, huh? I think there's some to like about him. The control is maybe not what I'd like to see, but he's got really good arm strength. He's got two really good pitches and a decent fastball. A cutter that comes in from a sidearm arm slot would be fucking a nightmare to face, I believe. But I don't have the money, is the problem. I don't think he's that much better than other pitchers, so we'll take Brian Taylor instead. And then we're going to do some tools shopping. We got some guys with some pretty great raw power right now. Brian Avery wants $1 million. That's rude. Dennis Burmeister doesn't, which makes him a very good draft pick for me. It's not a Yuba. What about Mr. Andy Knox? Andy Knox wants 750 grand. I think I'm willing to pay that. Assume my owner's fine with it. And give me one more big old thumper. Let's grab Greg Sullivan. Alright, now let's look at pitching. And let's look for stuff that's paired with any level of control and movement. Ryan Birch, you're in. Done. I want to try to grab a couple more starters, so I will start looking for them momentarily here. But I want to get Pete Wellborn first. Alright, let me look at starting pitchers only. It's Michael Brantley, reincarnated, even though he's not actually dead. I mean, it is 2036, and I don't know what kind of life he's living, but the control is too big an issue for me. For me, um, and he struggled with it pretty badly in college. I don't think I can take that level of weak control. Alejandro Aguilar, on the other hand, is someone that I could be interested in. His movement sucks. Mike McKinney? Let's grab Mr. McKinney here. Let's do that. And then we're going to find a really good movement pitcher. Stephen Moore, huh? There's a lot working against you, but your tools are decent, and if you can improve your pitches, I think you've got a chance to make it someday. Probably not anytime soon, but it could happen. And we're in, like, the back half of the draft now. We're just looking for anything. Paul Fuentes is badly injured. But he is possibly an elite level reliever right now. And that is interesting enough to me that I will draft him despite him being injured. Because it doesn't cost me anything, right? It just costs me a draft pick. Lee Phillips here. Meh. Whaley Jim. You're worth a shot, Mr. Jim. Jim the Whale. You're a whale of a good player. Let me look at all players, look at their defaults, and let me see how many left have really decent potential. Okay. Let's go back and talk to our beloved scouting director and see what he thinks we should do. I'm going to grab Tom Corman, huh? I accept this decision. Welcome to the team, Tombo. Why don't I just call him Tombo? That didn't make a lot of sense, but here we are. Aguilar still hanging out? I guess we could take him. I thought we already took him. Evidently we didn't. So here we go. I like Dusty Lee a lot because of his traits here, which means even though I don't think he's a catcher, I think he could handle first or left with relative skill. And that feels pretty good to me. Vince Winsett? I mean, with a name like that, he's in the Winsett, you know? There we go. Draft completed. This is like a draft with lots of very good, solid players. And I think that's very, very useful. I don't know that there's a star in this draft. I think Sincere Edwards has the potential to be. He's got a lot of offensive skills, even if I don't think he's necessarily a great defender. Certainly could play third base pretty well. Or first. I think Mike Mullet is a steal of the draft because he could have a very quick path to the major leagues. Very, very quick. I'm not saying he's going to be there by the end of this season, but I'm not saying that he won't be there by the end of this season, you know? Like, I think we genuinely throw him into Double-A and see how he does once he's on. Okay, Tovar's out for 4 weeks. I think this is Deemer's time to shine. This is the chance that Mr. Deemers here has been looking for, which is a chance to play shortstop. He's the shortest stop there is. Let's generate a depth chart here. Do I want Brewer playing over Deemers? No, I want Deemers playing. Deemers is the better shortstop. This is all fine. This is all fine. How is Mr. Mittman performing? This is certainly not terrible, especially for the minimal number of at-bats he's had. Obviously, I want him to play better, but for right now, it's fine. Mike Mullet, I would like you to get your butt into Double A. Or you're putting him in Triple A. That's fine with me. I think that's very reasonable to let him play in Triple A. I was going to take a little bit easier, but if my staff thinks he's ready for... Holy shit. I mean, do we do the thing? I can't do that, right? That would be stupid. Just taking the guy and throwing him into the deep end. Right? Or am I stupid like a fox if I do it? Get in the majors, kid. We'll see it. This is either going to be a genius move or a fucking stupid move, and I haven't figured out which one it's going to be yet. I do also want to swap out one of our starters. Who is most ready to start in the major league? It's probably John Kaiser, but he is struggling. You guys all need more practice before you're ready to start in the majors. It could be Bobby Rivera. Like, Bobby Rivera is not appreciably worse than anybody else on this franchise. Because Willie Alvarez ain't getting it done. Like, Willie Alvarez is just acceptable. And I think we can do better than acceptable. I don't trust Bob Long. Bob Long is obviously reasonably polished, but he still walks way too many people. It could be Andy Sanchez, actually. If all I care about is somebody to throw some extra innings here and there, then I think Andy Sanchez is the call. Let me send out Willie Alvarez and let me bring up Andy Sanchez. Let's see how this works out for us. Alright, let's go up to the trading deadline. Sorry. Sean Gamble is off. Sean Gamble would actually not be a terrible player for us had we acquired him in this version of the universe. Alright. Okay. Do we trade Charlie Condon? The fact of the matter is, he has not been an impressive specimen this year. Bringing him back was quite possibly a mistake. And I know the fans like him a lot, but I'd rather see like Matt Mittman playing first base, or Colin Ritchie playing first base, or somebody actually playing a position effectively. Is there any market for Charlie Condon whatsoever? Does anybody want him? Like, if you can't hit home runs in Colorado, it's hard for me to say that you'd hit home runs anywhere else. You know? I think maybe we just keep going with it, but it would be nice to get rid of him right now. But if we don't, that's fine too. we can easily just opt out of his contract at the end of the season. And possibly even bench him, because Matt Mittman is actually playing very, very well all of a sudden. Again, very, very short time frame, but if Mittman is even 10% of what he needs to be, then I think Condon is replaceable, definitely. This is a really good lineup. I know Andy Sanchez just got his shit pushed in, but he's also just barely started as a starter in the major leagues, so let's let him get some time. I will start the trade deadline, but I'll be honest with you, I don't really see that there's anything in particular that I'm interested in. Because you're not going to trade with me the kind of guys that I want, which are players that have... Yeah. Give me the next sim, please. Like, people aren't trading interesting minor league guys. No, they're trading people with established major league credentials, which makes it very difficult for me to accept such an offer. I could have the Carson Milbrandt, who sucks and has also played in the majors. I just don't think there's anything that I want. And I also don't think there's anything that I can trade that would make a difference on this club. Tovar and Ito are both hurt. Richie is pulling a lot of weight for this club right now. And I still want to win the World Series. Like, that's still the primary goal here. So making us worse this year for sake of making us better in 3 years isn't something I'm willing to do right now. Like, benching Condon once Ida is healthy is something I'm very prepared to do. Very, very prepared to do. But I am not prepared to give up any major prospects to get better prospects. Mike Mullett is getting better already. He's just hit the major leagues. That's redonkulous. I love it. Matt Mittman is hitting for more power. You'd love to see it. People are making some improvements, and I like to see that. Sincere Edwards is getting a little bit worse. I mean, he's already a blue prospect, though, so as long as it doesn't slide off too much, then that's fine. Guys, can we say how bloody fucking good Carlos Martinez has been this year? He might be the new Garrett Kozic in that he just plays way over his skills, and I will love that for us. I love it a lot. Let me sim up to the roster expansion or until Edith comes back. Okay, Demers, getting hurt frequently is not going to secure you a position. We're going to bring Ida back for sure. But I do need to have somebody as a utility guy. I guess it can be Brewer. I don't love it. Is there a better choice? Probably not. Yeah, it's Brewer. I hate it. You hate it. Everybody hates it, but it's what we're dealing with right now. Ida 100% gets his job back. That was never a question. But you know who else gets a job change? Matt Mittman, you're now my starting first baseman. Against lefties for sure. I wouldn't mind actually letting Rodarte get some reps at first base. I do think letting Milam be the cleanup guy is better. So Rodarte switch to first. Stay where you are in the lineup, though. I think that makes a lot of sense to me. Milam here. And let's get Ida DHing. I just think Condon is cooked. I don't think he's got anything left to offer us. So that's the story. That's how it is. Getting Tovar back is beautiful. Makes me very, very happy. Because I just don't trust what's his face to play every day. Most people. Can I demote Condon? Will Condon take a demotion? He probably won't, right? Yeah, he won't take a demotion. I'm not gonna carry a replacement level player at this point in his career. I could just cut him now. I'm gonna try to waive him and see if anybody wants to claim him. Because I really don't want Robbie Brewer as my shortstop when I have Tovar as an option instead. Sorry, Robbie. You were so close, my dude. You were very, very close. But alas, it was not to be. Yeah. I have no desire whatsoever to see anything else that Condon has to offer me, and I will release him, and it will make the fans grumpy, and they will get over it. You don't want to be demoted? That's your right. I'm really sorry, Charlie, but goodbye. If you had been even a little good, I would have kept you. Or if you've been willing to take a demotion, I would have kept you. But the fact of the matter is, you're not good enough anymore. You want to come back on a minor league deal? Fine. That is acceptable to me. But that's all you're getting from me. And if you choose not to sign, then so be it. We can have Dave Crawford back. How's Mike Mullett doing? Mike Mullett is struggling pretty badly. Let's go ahead and send him back to the minors then. You can enjoy AAA Albuquerque. We can let Dave Crawford get in there. Our bullpen has been really good this year. Andy Sanchez has not, but he's also barely played. So let's, yeah. 1 to 2 weeks for Tom Remy. That's acceptable. We can let him recover. Let me try something a bit unorthodox. Let me call up Bob Long, but let me make him a middle reliever. Oh, you could be a specialist middle reliever. I like that quite a bit. I want to get you some experience in the major leagues, but I also don't want to over... Oh, wow. You're better against righties than you are against lefties. Never mind, you're just a middle reliever. Yeah. I'm fully prepared for you to start when your control improves, but this is a way for you to get difficult innings at the highest level while not endangering us too heavily. I say that now, watch it cost us like a critical game. It could happen for sure. I could make him a mop-up guy, but I think he's got the stuff that I want him pitching in important games when the opportunity presents itself. Carlos Martinez is an MVP candidate this year, and I definitely did not anticipate that. Demers is going to be out another week. That's whatever. Carlos Urbina randomly got a forkball. That's cool. Yasukawa's hitting for more gap power. Alright. Did we ever end up signing Condon? I don't think so. Who do we call up? Yeah, there he is. Charlie Condon is still hanging around as a dude. I want Mike Mullet pitching regularly, so I don't want to call him up. Jim Pizzulo can get some mop-up work in. I'm going to set you up to do some mop-up here. Avoid high leverage. Long relief. There you go. Is there a position player that I want to give some attention to? Not really. I mean, letting Jason Ripley join the roster isn't a terrible idea. I'm fine with that. I like Ripley more than I like Garcia because I think Ripley is a faster player. So I think this is acceptable. I think getting ourselves another quality infielder, especially when, to be perfectly honest with you, Robbie Brewer has not been a great backup for us. He just hasn't. He has had significant opportunities to show that he can play at a major league level, and he quite literally cannot. Which is a real shame given his relatively high pedigree. But at what point does a guy's complete inability to hit baseballs counteract any defensive value he might have? I'm not convinced there's any defensive value. So, yeah. Matt Mittman has been incredible. I think we maybe just make him the everyday first baseman, and I think we just let Rodarte pinch hit where it's appropriate. The thing is, I need him to play. I need him to play so that I can see how he is. And so, even though I think it makes us slightly worse, I think letting Rodarte continue to face left-handed pitching is acceptable for now. We can get Tom Remy back and Pat Demers. I'm going to send Ripley to the minors, and I'm going to activate Demers. And then let's say goodbye to Jim. Tom Remy's actually pitched quite well, right? Yeah, he's pitched very, very well. Mr. Pizzulo. Goodbye, Zoe. And we'll make you a middle reliever. We had clinched a postseason appearance. Nice. All right. I said at the beginning of this episode, I said I think we're a 90-win team. Let's see if I was right. I was wrong. We're an 89-win team. Oh, well. We still made the postseason and got a first-round bye, and that is gigantic. That is huge news. Huge news. Who are we leaving off the roster? Leaving Robbie Brewer off in favor of Demers is something that I'm fine with. Let me make sure really quickly this is rebuilt. And I need the best players at the best possible time, right? And I think that kind of means that Matt Mittman gets to be the first baseman all the time now. Like, I have had Alex Rodarte show me that he is acceptable, but I need more than acceptable. I want Matt Mittman playing first base in the postseason. It's just how I feel, and if it makes Rodarte a bit sad, then that's fine. That doesn't bother me too much. All right, let's work the pitching staff out. We're going to be a three-man rotation. Oh, we lost somebody. Oh, no. We do not leave What's-His-Face off the postseason roster. Actually, I guess we have to. Fine. This is what I would have wanted anyway as my rotation, so this isn't the worst thing ever. Edgar Castillo, I don't want you pitching. Did Bob Long make the postseason roster? He did. Okay. Well, that's something, I guess. All right, let's enjoy the first round from our couches. We got the rotations set up. Let's do our best, guys. I mean, getting to the bullpen this quickly and obliterating it is not great. Will Levy had a terrible day. Uh-oh. Well, we had a bounce back. That's good. I don't necessarily want these games to be so high scoring, but it's fine as long as we win, right? Which we just did out of a clutch performance out of Danny Roque. That's amazing. We got a great pitching performance, and now Will Levy can clinch this postseason series. You know what? Good enough. Doesn't always have to be the fanciest possible series. It just has to be good enough. Barry Keller, welcome back to the rotation. For a 7-game series, I want 4 starters. Remy has a stiff back. Okay, fine. Until the next round, gentlemen. All right. Luis Arestigueta, I think is his name. Maybe. Okay, my closer getting beat up is not a thing that I want to see. Also, Will Levy fucked up again. Of his 3 postseason starts, 2 of them have been awful. This gives me concerns. But then we lock it down for game 2. Okay. All right. Danny Roque is really proving himself to be a special pitcher this postseason. He is having a phenomenal time of it. Okay. Begin choked again. Guys, this is a terrible look. You are meant to be the answer, and you have really struggled. And Will Levy got lit up again. This is very disheartening. Well, we did get a nice game there. I haven't closed my eyes. Come on, World Series, guys. Yes? Damn it! I don't understand. I cannot fathom how this happened. How my closer, who's getting paid lots of money, melted down when it mattered the most, and my ace melted down when it mattered the most. Like, the ball was in the hands of the correct people, and they still fucked it up royally. And that sucks, man. I mean, no shade to the Braves. The Braves are a great team. But we had this one. Like, and John Begin just didn't get the job done. That's not the game I was looking at. I was going to look at this game here. Like, you show up and give up the home run. And that's gross. Although, Will Levy's complete dumpster fire of a postseason cannot be underestimated as a big problem. a huge problem. This was a terrible postseason for him. He's been great in the past. This was not that year. 16 innings of awful baseball. You just got clobbered really hard. Ace has got to do ace shit, you know? Ace has got to do ace shit. And ace shit is stepping up in the postseason. And you didn't do it. And Begin didn't do it either. And it's fun, I guess. But it is really unfortunate. Because I don't know. I don't know what the answer was here. Ida being healthier, I guess, is always the answer. It is always an answer. But doesn't feel great. Tovar wants to come back. You know he wasn't exceptional. He was actually pretty bad, but he's still a great defender, so I think we keep him. I mean, we have to keep him, right? Colin Ritchie was pretty good. And especially, yeah, let's give Ritchie his new deal. Bryant Milam definitely had another good season. Definitely he can stay a little bit longer. Danny Gonzalez didn't have like an incredible season, did he? As a backup catcher. He was okay, but he's still not there yet. So I think letting Milam come back is reasonable. The real question is Ida. Who retired? Oh, Ezekiel Tovar retired. You know what? Respect. That's a borderline Hall of Fame career, guys. It's really close, but I think it is a possibility here. We lost some coaches. We'll deal with that next episode. Do we keep Ida? I think he's just too expensive. Given that he's injury prone, I don't think I can just start bringing him back for $48 million. If he wants to come back for less money, I will hand him a check. Because he was an outstanding player again. But I cannot afford to spend this much money on one player. I can't do it. So we will have a chat with him possibly right now and just see what that deal sounds like. Yeah, he wants to get paid a ridiculous amount of money. That's not going to happen. You know? Can I offer him a $30 million contract? I can't remember how much of a pay cut you're allowed to take. Yeah, it can't be more than less than 80%. Which means most I can cut him is 20%. I would offer him $40 million. Maybe. I want to at least see if he'd be willing to consider this offer. I think I just non-tender him. I have to let him test the free agent market and let somebody else pay him the money that he thinks he's worth. And that really sucks, but it is what has to happen. I cannot afford to pay him $58 million. That is not a possibility here. It just isn't. Point blank. I can't pay a player that much money if they're not going to be available when I need them. Very good season all around. Matt Mittman has been a revelation and is somebody that I feel pretty good about letting Condon walk about. Um, Robbie Brewer, I think, needs to go. I think we've seen what he can do, and it's not very good. Um, Levy was great. The pitching staff was phenomenal, and then the postseason started. And then it all crumbled. Maybe they all pitched too many innings. I mean, 6, 7 innings is a lot of innings for a closer, for sure. Big shout out, by the way, to Tom Remy, who in his first season in the major leagues was really, really good. Like, arguably better than the incredibly highly priced closer who fucked up when we needed him to be his best. He had a great season. I'm not saying he pitched poorly in the regular season by any means, but in the postseason, he wasn't there when we needed him. And that is the quintessential job of the closer. Man, this whole situation with Ida is going to be really fascinating because I cannot afford to pay him. I cannot afford to give him the money that he wants. So if I can bring him back for less money, I'll consider it. If not, I guess it's Rodarte time, which doesn't make me feel great, but he's got to get the he is going to be given an opportunity sometime. I think this is that time. I think he has shown enough growth between season 1 and season 2 that there's more here to like, and I want him to be a key part of this team. That's just where we are, guys. It's what has to happen. For a guy that constantly gets hurt, I cannot afford to pay $48 million. I can't do it. And the thing is, he doesn't want $48 million. He wants more. He wants $58 million. Maybe somewhere else he plays even more amazingly. It's like $40 million is a ripoff or anything. But tying that much payroll to one player that doesn't stay healthy is not a smart investment. He's 35 years old. He's injury prone. That's only going to get worse. Like, he's not going to all of a sudden discover the fountain of youth and start being more healthy. When he plays, he's amazing. But it's just something I'm not prepared to pay for to that degree. Yeah. So I could release Ida now, but I think I'd rather wait until free agency and then just see what his actual domains are. Maybe it'll be more reasonable once he hits the market rather than no one's willing to pay $60 million to a 35-year-old. Or maybe he won't. Maybe he'll be like, fuck you, I'm happy where I am. And then that's a reasonable take, I guess. My friends, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have, please remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what you think we should do with Ida. Let me know if you think we should re-sign him, damn the cost, give him an arbitration reward, or just let him find a team willing to pay him the money he thinks he's worth. Until next time, my friends, this has been Abguardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.